Okay, we are going to start the today topic. That is the next part of the derivation. Very important derivations we are going to do. That is known as stiffness matrix for a 1D bar element. Stiffness matrix for a 1D bar element. I think we have covered stiffness matrix. What is stiffness matrix and what are its property in the previous model? Isn't it? Isn't it? We have covered there, right? This one.
Yes.
Yes. Can you tell me what do you mean by stiffness? What do you mean by stiffness? Can anyone tell me? What do you mean by stiffness?
Deformation.
Deformation. Deformation. Stiffness. What do you mean by stiffness?
That there is
That there is
no
no
change in
change in
dimension
dimension. What ma?
with
With
deformation.
Ability of
ability
material
of
to
material to
resist
resist the
deformation.
deformation. Good. Exactly. Ability of the material to resist the deformation. Resist the deformation. That is always. That is always. That is always stiffness. That is called as K. This K always 1 by delta will be there. Always 1 by delta. Delta means we know that what is the delta equation will be there. What is the delta equation? What is the delta equation? PL by A. Correct now? PL by A. That inverse will give the actually the stiffness. So that means that stiffness is nothing but nothing but what is the force required to resist the unit displacement, that is F by delta to cause the unit displacement. Force resistance to cause the unit displacement, that is F by delta equal to what you will get? P by AE, sorry, AE by L you will get. So F by delta we can call it as a stiffness. It is called as what? It is called as what? F by delta. What is the force required to resist the unit displacement, or force requirement to create unit displacement? That is known as a stiffness. That is equal to AE by L value with it. So therefore this in the case of stiffness, it's going to represent in matrix form, that is called stiffness matrix. So this stiffness matrix indicate the primary characteristic of the finite element, that is element. So here this stiffness matrix for such different problem, there are two main types of problem. One is structural types of problem, one is non-structural types of problem. So usually this first structural types of problem, like when it's subjected to structural load like axial bending and shear torsion load, this uh, with respect to this, it stiffness indicate that what is the resistance of the element to deformation when subjected to a loading. So therefore, this matrix contain one is geometry property and one is material property. That is example for 1D bar element, A is the geometry property, L is the geometry property, and whereas E is the material property. And this is called a stiffness matrix for the 1D bar element. And in case of non-structural problems, like it may be a fluid problem or it may be a thermal problem, so that stiffness matrix represent resistance of the element to change when it's subjected to influences like thermal temperature, when it is exposed to or heat, or it may be a fluid pressure, or it may be a velocity. So that is called as a stiffness matrix for a non-structural problem. Example stiffness matrix for a thermal load problem is, that is Ke is equal to Ka by Le into 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, where K is the thermal conductivity, it's a material property, area of the member, that is a geometric property, and length of the member, that is a geometric property. Area of the element, L is the length of the element. So this is stiffness. Can you tell me what are the properties of this stiffness? Anyone? Can you tell me what is the properties of this stiffness? What are the properties of this stiffness matrix? What are the properties of the stiffness matrix? Respond soon.
Sir, it
Sir,
is a
it is
symmetric
a
matrix
symmetric
Matrix. Yes, good.
and it is
And
banded
it is
matrix.
banded. Good.
Direct elements are
Direct
positive.
elements are positive. Yes, good. Then that's all. Any other points?
Determinant
Determinant
matrix
matrix is 0.
Yes, good. Determinant matrix are 0. Good. So stiffness matrix always a square matrix, and always it's a banded matrix, and it's always the principal diagonal elements are positive, and if you add the column of the elements it will equal to 0, and it determinates always it is equal to 0, and size of the matrix always depend upon the degree of freedom, that is how many degree of freedom, based on that your size you'll get. 10 means 10 by 10 into 10. Well, 100 means 100 by 100, like that. So these are the properties of the stiffness matrix. Definition and property is very important. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
It's
Now we are going to derive this one. So what I discussed here, no, given example for 1D bar element A by L 1 minus 1 minus. This is for 1D bar element. How we got that one means that we are going to derive the now derivation of stiffness matrix. So this stiffness matrix is going to be derived by two methods. One is one is called direct method. Another one is called strain energy method. So in exam they may ask you any one method. Either you can direct method, you prove it, or it may be strain energy method. You have to prove it. So let me take first one. Usually this is majorly they will ask direct method. Let me see this one. So here they consider one direct method we are going to use. Consider one bar, uniform bar. It is having area A and having a length L and having a material property Young's modulus E. It is subjected to a tensile axial tension force here on the right hand side, whether left hand side is completely fixed. Therefore, this is called geometric model. Now I'm going to convert into a FEM model. FEM model means nodes are converted into what? Sorry, points are converted into what? Points are converted into what? Points are converted into what? When you're converting geometry property into FEM property, points are converted into what? Points
Nodes,
are
sir.
converted into what? Nodes. Lines are converted into elements. So here we divide into one element, but two nodes. Here node 1, node 2. And here U1 and U2. Corresponding forces are here P1 and P2. Because of this P, this is called nodal forces. P1, P2 are called nodal forces. U1, U2 are called nodal displacement. Keep this in mind. Some textbook they are going to use U1, U2. Some textbook they are going to use Q1, Q2. Both are same. Keep this in mind. The nodal displacement notation, some textbook they are going to use U1, U2, or some textbook they are going to use U1, U2. Majorly you are going to use Q1, Q2 is Q3, like that they are going to use. Now I'm going to assume again one polynomial function, that is linear polynomial function, that is u is equal to a1 plus a2x. I will delete. Okay, u is equal to a1 plus a2x. Now I'm going to express this in a matrix form. I will get in a matrix form 1 x a1 a2. If you multiply by these two matrices, now you'll get this one. See, 1 into a1 a2 in sorry, yeah, 1 into a1 and a2 into x a2x, like that. So therefore they express in a matrix form. Now I'm going to apply the boundary condition. What I'm going to apply the boundary condition is, here you can see, when x tends to 0, u tends to u1. Therefore I'm going to substitute in equation number 1. What is the equation number 1? So equation number is this one here. Yeah. Equation 1 is u is equal to a1 plus a2x. Now there we have substituted back. So therefore, so we got as u1 as what? X becomes 0. X into a2 becomes 0. Therefore only u1 equal to a1 you will get. Similarly, x tends to L, u tends to u2. Therefore substitute again in equation number 2. Therefore, what is the equation become? U become u2 and x become L, and we already know. Yeah. So u2 equal to a1 plus a2 x. In place of x, what you can substitute? L. So therefore, what I'm going to do, Okay. Now compare this. That is u1 is equal to a1 we got, and u2 equal to a1 plus a2 l we got. Now these two I can express in a matrix form like this. If you multiply, you have to get this. Like that, you will get a matrix form. How? u1 u2 1 0 1 l a1 a2. If you multiply, you will get like this one only. How? You can see first row into first column. u1 is equal to a1 into a1 0 into a2 0. Therefore you got u1 equal to a1. Similarly, u2 equation I will get u2 is equal to multiply second row, this second row first column, 1 into a1 a2 into l a2. Therefore you got this equation. These two equations we are just expressed in a matrix form, because FEM, entire FEM is like that only. We are going to express in a matrix form, that is algebraic form. So therefore a1 a2 I'll keep it, and this matrix I'll transfer to the other side. When I'm going to transfer to the other side, either left hand side, right hand side, matrix become what? Matrix become what? When you're going to transfer one matrix to the other side, matrix become what?
Negative.
Not negative. This is called negative. What is the symbol in the matrix? We are going to use this called -1 symbol. Indicate what? What is the notation this indicate? Huh?
Transfers.
Not transfers. Transfers is T. But -1 is indicate what? It is called inverse. It is called what? Inverse matrix. Are you heard about inverse matrix, right?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
That is what this one, inverse matrix. When I transfer 1 0 1 L to the left hand side, that is become inverse matrix. Therefore a1 a2 is equal to 1 0 1 L inverse matrix into u1 u2 matrix. Therefore this I'm going to substitute in equation number 1. Where is equation number 1? My equation number is here. Sorry, in equation number 2, not 1. So where is equation number 2? Well, here is this. Okay. Now I'm going to substitute in equation number 2, that is here. You can see this here. U is equal to 1x a1 a2, no? That one. So therefore, in place of, we are going to substitute in there. Therefore, what I am going to substituting is, in place of here, that is, yeah. In place of a1 a2, I'm going to substituting as this much. In place of a1 a2, I'm going to substituting as inverse matrix into u1 u2 into 1x as it is there. Now I need to find the value of this inverse matrix. How are we going to find the value of inverse matrix? There is a formula. I think hope you can remember this. This is the basics of matrix. Inverse matrix is equal to adjoint of matrix divided by determinant of matrix. Can remember this? You may be done in 10th or 12th. Inverse of matrix you are going to calculate using this formula.
Yes, sir.
That is adjoint of matrix divided by determinant of matrix A. Therefore, I need to find what is adjoint of matrix and determinant of matrix. First, I will take determinant of matrix. How to calculate determinant of matrix? How to calculate determinant of matrix? Can you tell me determinant of matrix? How are you going to calculate? Take this matrix, multiply the diagonal terms 1 into L minus 1 into 0. Therefore, what is the value you will get? Determinant of A matrix, what you will get? It is not 1. It is got L. It is L. Now adjoint of matrix. What do you mean by adjoint of matrix? How to calculate adjoint of matrix? Means matrix you take it. What is that? This inverse matrix is there. No, in the invert matrix, what you have to do? You change this diagonal, principal diagonal, this principal diagonal, you interchange. That is, here L will come, here 1 will come, and next here you have to put -1. That is the called adjoint. You can see here. Here they put 1 here, and L they interchange, and in place of here they put -1 here. So this is known as adjoint of matrix. Adjoint of matrix. Are you getting? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
All of you
Yes.
getting? Adjoint of matrix
Yes,
means
sir.
you have to change the principal diagonal, and here you have to put minus immediate. So next, finally we got A inverse as adjoint of matrix divided by determinant of matrix. What is adjoint of matrix? This is the adjoint of matrix divided by determinant of matrix. What we got determinant of matrix as L. Therefore, A inverse become 1 by L into 1 0 minus 1 1, and that we need to substitute in this equation, where in the place of inverse matrix here we need to substitute. That is what here 1x as it is, and this value I'm going to substituting here into u1 u2 matrix. Therefore I'm going to differentiate this with respect to x. Why? Because I need to calculate the strain now. Strain is equal to, as you know, dou u by dou x. Before going to do the dou u by dou x, I will multiply the matrix first. How will going to multiply this matrix into this matrix? Row into column. 1 into L into 1 by L. Therefore, what happened? L get cancelled. What is the remaining? Only 1. Minus x. Next, x into minus 1 minus x divided by L. This is what we got. Here, L divided by L will be there. That will be cancelled. Similarly, first row, second column. 1 into 0, 0. Then, x into 1, x divided by 1 by L. That is x by L will be there. So, this is what we got after the multiplication. All of you understood here? All of you understood here? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You have to multiply this matrix into this matrix. First row, first column, first. You have to add it. Then first row, second column. That you know matrix multiplication, that you have to do it. Therefore, now we got this is the U matrix. This is known as U matrix. Now this I'm going to differentiate with respect to x. Because in order to find the strain is equal to dou u by dou x. Dou u by dou x means here what you will get? The differentiate of 1 is 0, minus x is nothing but minus 1 by L, and here 1 by L, u1, u2. Therefore, now I can take here 1 by L is the common outside the matrix. That is become minus 1, 1, u1, u2. Therefore, what I can call this one as? What I can call 1 by L minus 1 as? What I can count 1 by L minus 1, 1 as?
D, sir. D, sir.
D, no? Therefore, that is strain displacement matrix already know. Therefore, and u1, u2 I can call this nodal displacement matrix, that is Q. That is strain is equal to B into Q we got. Therefore, so we need to find the stress now. So therefore, we need to find the stress. Stress is equal to Young's modulus into strain. Strain means again B into Q. Again B into Q means this is what we got. Now, what I'm going to do, next step is we are going to apply the boundary condition, the superposition principle. What is superposition principle means? Here, there are two forces are acting here. One is, you can observe here, two forces are acting. One is P1, one is P2. Now, in apply the superposition principle, I think in a DOM you heard about that, in a MOM also. Initially, assume only P1 is acting and P2 is not acting. And after that, I'm going to assume that only P2 is acting, not P1 is acting, like that. So therefore, because of P1, P2, the stresses are also induced sigma 1 and sigma 2. Now, initially I'm going to assume P1 is acting at node 1 and P2 is not acting. Therefore, stress become P1 by A. P1 by A, that is minus. Why minus means all the right hand force we consider as negative, and that is this one. So here minus they got. So that is P1 by A. Therefore, P1 become minus sigma 1 into A. Minus sigma 1 into A. Minus sigma 1 into A. Next, assume that only P2 is acting, not P1 is acting here. Therefore, what is the corresponding stress? That is P2 by A. So here we are going to consider the sign convention. See here, with respect to sign convention, how means this force P1 which is coming towards the node, that means it act like a compression force. Therefore compression force means we called as negative. But when come to the node 2, P2 is acting like a tensile, that's why it's called positive. That is tensile force, that's why it's called tensile stress will be induced. Therefore sigma 2 become P2 by A, therefore P2 becomes sigma 2 into A. Therefore these two equation if you compare, I can express these two, I can compare, I can express in a matrix form, that is P1 P2 minus 1 1 A into sigma. Why A into sigma means here stresses are same magnitude but opposite direction, that's all. That's why I can call sigma 2 equal to sigma 1 equal to sigma, just sigma. Therefore if you multiply these two, you'll get the same equation. That is we just express in a matrix form. Again sigma means what I can express as we already proved here, that we substitute, that's all. Then therefore next what is you do to do it, you multiply these two matrix. If you multiply these two matrix, see here what you will get, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 1 minus 1 1, correct? No, hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
If you multiply these two, you will get this one, that AE by L, not AE by L into U1 U2. So I can call this one as P matrix. I can call AE by L into 1 minus 1 1 minus 1 minus 1. Which type of matrix? What is this called? What is this matrix? AE by L 1 minus 1 minus 1 1 is called K matrix. What is K called? What is K called?
Stiffness matrix.
Stiffness matrix. This is known as stiffness matrix for a 1D bar element. And where a U1 U2 is called Q matrix, that is known as nodal displacement matrix. P is called force matrix, nodal force matrix. K called stiffness matrix. Q called nodal displacement matrix. See, nodal, we are going to use the word nodal in the sense at the node. So P1 P2 are the load acting at the node, that's why it's called nodal load matrix. And Q is called the nodal displacement matrix, where a K is called stiffness element stiffness matrix. So this is the proof for this using a direct method. So here we are used just force principle, like Mom principle we are used, that is why it's called a direct method. So we assumed initially polynomial function u in the form of a1 a2 into x, and again we express in terms of matrix, let us call that is equation number 2, and substitute the boundary condition when x tends to L 0 u become 1 in substitute in equation number 1, then u1 equal to a1. When x tends to L, u become u2, substituting again in equation number 1, that is u2 is equal to a1 plus a2L. Again these two we can express in a matrix form like this. Therefore a1 a2 equal to, you transfer this matrix to this side, that is become inverse matrix. Now this a1 a2 matrix I can substitute in equation number 2. So therefore u is equal to 1 x 1 0 inverse matrix into u1 u2. Now I need to find this inverse matrix value by using adjoint of matrix by determinant of matrix. That is the value you will get as 1 by L 1 L 0 minus 1 1. Is substitute here and multiply these two matrix, you got like this. Now I need to find the strain, that is dou u by dou x. If you differentiate with respect to x, you get this, and 1 by L take common outside, and this is called strain displacement matrix, and this is called nodal displacement matrix. And if you want stress, that is sigma is equal to b into q, b value q value substitute, keep as it is. Now I'm going to use the superposition principle. Initially P1 is acting, P2 is not acting. In second case P2 is acting, P1 is not acting. For that sigma 1 you got as P1 minus P1 by A, minus because of compression, sigma 2 as P2 by A. Therefore P2 becomes sigma 2A, P1 become minus sigma 1A. Again these two I can express in the matrix form, but here in place of sigma 1 and sigma 2 I can call it just sigma, because both are in same magnitude. And again sigma means I can substitute back this equation here, and again you multiply these two, you will get this matrix into AE by L u1 u2. This is called stiffness matrix. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
You have to memorize that. These two say what are the derivation what we are discussing. Out of this definitely one will come. So you have to memorize by practicing only you can memorize. Other it is not possible that you know well. So that you have to do it. Okay. Next one, last derivation on this topic, that is on module 2 on the bar I'm talking, not bar topic, the last derivation. There is one more topic is the trestle. Trestle, one more derivation is there, but here we are talking about bar. So you are going to use strain energy method. Can you tell me anyone what you mean by strain energy? I think you have maybe heard about this. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by strain energy? What do you mean by strain energy? What do you mean by strain energy? Hello?
Yes,
Strain
sir.
energy, you don't know?
So due to elastic deformation, some energy stored in the member.
So whenever any member is subject to loading, there is a cause of strain. So due to that, what is the energy is going to spend to create a strain? Or that is known as strain energy. So that is called a strain energy. How we are going to calculate this strain energy means using this equation. You can see that is we not done actually in the module 1 is there. I told now we left that topic no in a potential energy method it will come. That is actually. So strain energy is equal to half into sigma T. T stands for what? T stands for what? Here T stands for what? Sigma T into epsilon into dV. What is this T stands for? T stands for what? T stands for what? Hello? T stands for what, pa? Huh? T stands for transpose matrix. That's all. See, this strain energy what we are considering with respect to dV. This equation actually we derived in the MOM. Strain energy on the module number 5 is there. There actually this strain energy equation we derived. That one only directly we taken here. So therefore, this is dV stands for volume, epsilon stands for strain, sigma stands for stress. Now I'm going to consider the 1D bar element with respect to the natural coordinate system only again. Here at node 1 minus 1, here plus 1. This is x1 and x2. Now dV, volume. What do you mean by volume? What do you mean by volume? Hello? What do you mean by volume? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Volume means how you can write the volume. dV as area multi into length. Here A into dx. dx is the length of the element. Therefore, and also we know sigma. What is sigma? What is sigma? Sigma is nothing but we know E into B into Q. And also we know epsilon. What is epsilon? B into Q. Strain displacement matrix into nodal displacement matrix. That is Q. Therefore, sigma means I can substitute E B Q whole to the power of T. Epsilon means B into Q and A into dx. So this is, let us keep as it is. And we are going to integrate with respect to minus 1 and plus 1 because we are taking with respect to the bar element natural coordinate system. Here minus 1 is and plus 1. Lower limit, upper limit. We are going to integrate with respect to that. So therefore, we know one derivation, no, we done. If relation between natural coordinate system and Cartesian coordinate system. In the last class, we done this, correct? No? Zeta is equal to 2 times of x minus x1 divided by x2 minus x1 minus 1. Therefore, I'm going to differentiate with respect to x this one. Therefore, what is the, you will get 2 times, this is become 1 and x1 becomes 0. Therefore, 2 divided by x2 minus x1. Again, x2 minus x1, what you can call as LE. Therefore, my dx become LE by 2 into zeta. My dx, where is dx? Here. Dx come to the right hand side, LE come to the left hand side, and 2 will be going to be divided. Therefore, dx become LE by 2 into d zeta. We got dx value. So that dx value I am going to substitute in this equation. In this equation, I am going to substitute. Therefore, my strain energy become half into minus integration of minus 1 to plus 1. Here, I am going to expanding this bracket. E to the b to the power of t, q to the power of t. Whereas here E is the material property, no? It doesn't having any matrix form. That's why I'm not going to use transpose form here. Only these two are matrix form. That's why I'm going to use transpose. Only applying for this. Whereas Young's modulus, I'm not going to apply any transpose here. So, and B into Q into A and to dx. What do you mean by dx? That is LE by 2 into d zeta. LE by 2 into d zeta. Therefore, so take the constant outside and qt and q take outside, and remaining thing you keep it on the inside the integral form, this much term. So this whole term I can call as K, that is elemental stiffness matrix. This whole term I can call as Ke, that is strain is equal to 1 by 2 qt into q into Ke. So this much is called element stiffness. Therefore, what we consider K as, that is integration of bt e b into a le by 2 into d zeta. Again in this I can taking the constant outside, that is e a le by 2 b to the power of t into b into dq. So therefore I know already B, no, strain displacement matrix. Strain displacement matrix is 1 by Le minus 1, that is B. But transpose matrix B to the power of T is the transpose matrix. It have to express in the transpose matrix. Means it is a row matrix is there, that we are going to convert into a row into column matrix. That is 1 by Le minus 1, 1. 1 by Le minus 1, 1. Therefore, I got what is a B to the power of T, what is B matrix. That I am going to substitute in the Ke equation. That is here. So you multiply, substitute both the values here, then Ke you got like this. Now finally, last step. Finally, what I am going to do, I can take 1 by Le common. 1 by Le common. Therefore, that is one thing. That is 1 by Le, not common. 1 by Le become 1 by Le square. Therefore, 1 more Le get cancelled, because here is there, no? Therefore, 1 Le get cancelled. What is remaining? 1 Le. So now this two matrix you multiply. These two matrix you multiply. Then what is the matrix you will get? Ea by 2e 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, and inside the integral is only d zeta will be there. Now I am going to integrate this. Integration of d zeta becomes zeta, and again the limits are plus 1 minus 1. Again you apply the limits, that is become plus 1 minus of minus 1. Again that is become minus of minus 1 become what? Minus of minus become what? Plus 1. Correct? No. Minus of minus become plus 1. Therefore, plus 1 become 2. And this 2 and this 2 get cancelled. And finally, what is the Ke become? Ea by Le 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. So this is the stiffness matrix for an 1D bar element using strain energy method. I will repeat once again. Observe. I need to consider the bar element with respect to the natural coordinate system, and I'm going to take the strain energy for this case of the bar is 1 by 2 sigma t epsilon dv, where dv stands for volume. That volume I'm going to express in terms of area into dx. Now sigma means I know already E, B, Q. A strain I know B into Q. Therefore I need to calculate the what is of dx. For that I'm going to take the relation between zeta and x, that is Cartesian coordinate system. I'm going to differentiate with respect to x, that is dx, that is we will get as 2 by Le. Therefore dx become Le by 2 into d zeta. So I'm going to substitute this value in this equation, and I'm taking qtq outside. What is remaining term in the integral, that is called as Ke, that is known as stiffness matrix. So that stiffness matrix I'm going to consider here, and I need to find what is value of bt and b. We know already B, strain displacement matrix for 1D bar element is 1 by Le minus 1. B to the power of t nothing but transpose matrix. Therefore I'm going to convert this into column matrix and substitute back in this equation, Ke matrix. Therefore again multiply these two matrix, you get 1 minus 1 minus 1, and 1 Le get cancelled. Therefore one remaining 1 L be there, and only inside the integral d zeta. Again integrate this d zeta with respect to zeta is zeta, and apply the limits. Therefore this is become plus 2 get cancelled, and remaining will be Ea by Le 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, same. So if you derive the any two method, you will get the same stiffness matrix for the 1D bar element. Finally, you have to memorize this equation. Is it clear? Is it clear, all of you? Understood? Hello?
Yes, sir.
All of you
Yes, sir.
understood? All of you. All
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
think
Yes,
read.
sir.
Ruchita, is it okay? You understood?
Yes, sir.
This is the very important derivation. Up to here, what we covered is the important derivation. You have to practice. All four derivation you have to practice. Okay. So last topic for the today is, so we got to know what is stiffness matrix for the 1D bar element using the direct method or strain method. Now finally, what is global stiffness matrix? Global. So when you're going to discretize number of element, each element having for each element you have to calculate the what is the stiffness matrix. So that is in the steps when you're going to discuss in the steps of FEM. That is what no. Once you discretize, you have to apply the displacement. What is that model? So then after that, what is in the second? What is the third step? First step is to you have to discretize. Second step is to you have to apply what? Select the displacement function. Third step is what? Veena, Diana. I think someone is said no that day. Tell me, what are the steps involved in the FEM? Steps. Veena, Diana, you are there?
Selection of displacement model.
Yes. Third step.
Derivation of element stiffness.
Yes. Derive the element stiffness for the each matrix. Then after that.
Assembly of overall.
Yes. So once you calculate the stiffness matrix for the each element, you need to assemble it. That is called global stiffness matrix. So the stiffness matrix depend upon the number of elements. If 10 elements are there, 10 K value will get K1, K2, K3 like that up to 10. So therefore, finally we need to assemble it. How to assemble it? That is very important. That is known as global stiffness matrix. So suppose you take an example here. You can take an example here. This is stepped bar. Here the area is E1, A1 and Young's model is E1. This is area is A2 and Young's model is E2. That means it's made up of composite material. And length is L1, this is L2. Now suppose if you want to calculate what is the further this, I'm going to divide into two elements, 1 and 2. Now what is the stiffness matrix for the element 1 is K is equal to, we know AE by L 1 minus 1 minus 1. But here we are going to use the suffix A1, E1, L1 because here A1, E1 for the element 1 is there and length is L1. Now here very important, we are numbering here. You can observe here. What is this number means? This is known as node numbers. So suppose you can take, this is called geometric model. This is called geometric model. When I discretize, convert into FEM model. It is made up of two material and points are converted into nodes. What are the points? Here one point, here second point, third point. These points are converted into node. 1 node, 2 node, 3 node. Now I'm going to calculate the what is the stiffness matrix for the first element. That is A1 E1 by 1 minus 1 1. So elements 1 consisting of how many nodes? The element 1 in between which nodes? The element 1 between which nodes? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Element 1 between the which nodes? Here you are seeing the figure, no? This is the element 1. Between which nodes it is there? 1 and
2.
1 and 2. Therefore, here in the matrix, you have to write above the matrix. This is node 1, node 2. Numbering, you have to give it. For the row, 1, 2. For the column, 1, 2. Similarly, for the element 2, the stiffness matrix become A2, E2 by L2, 1 minus 1, 1. And again, the element 2 between which nodes? Element 2 between which nodes? Hello?
1 and
Hello?
3.
1 and 3, sir.
Element 2
1
here.
and 3.
2 and 3. Therefore, not 1 and 3 ma, element 2 means this much only, up to here only element 2.
Okay.
This is one element here divided, and second one I divided
Two
into
and
up to
three.
here only. That is between 2 and 3. Therefore, numbering I should give as 2, 3 for the row, column 2, 3. Now, global stiffness matrix means we need to add all the individual elements of the stiffness matrix of the individual element, that is K1 plus K2. Then how to add it? Please observe, very important now. Always stiffness matrix is a square matrix, correct? Correct, no? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
It's a square matrix. And its order is always, order of the matrix is depends upon what? Order of the matrix, it depends upon what? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Order of the matrix, it depends upon what? That is the property of the stiffness matrix. No, order of the matrix, it depends upon what? Or size of the matrix depends upon what? Come on, just now we discussed. Hello? The size of the matrix, it depends upon what?
Number of
Number of what? Number of what? Nodes present on that. How many nodes are here? How many? 2 element. How many nodes? We divide into 2 elements. 3, no. Therefore, the size of the matrix, the global stiffness matrix size become 3 by 3. So, how to add it? Please observe carefully. First, you write the numbers, node number 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, how to add it? No. So, 1, 1. What is 1, 1 means? You can come to here. Here, this is the, in row, it is 1. And here, column, it is 1. Where it is coincide? Here. What is the value here? 1. 1 into A1 E1 by L1. A1 E1 by L1. Similarly, 2, 1. 2, 1 means comes here. Where is 2, 1? Here. That is minus 1. Minus 1 into A1 E1 by LE. That is minus A1 E1 by L1. Next, 3, 1. Where is 3? 3 is here. But here there is no 3, 1 is there. Correct? We don't have 3, 1. Correct? So
Yes,
therefore that is become 0. That is become 0. Next come. Second row. 1, 2. 1, 2. Where is 1, 2? In first matrix you can see 1, 2. This one. Minus 1. Minus 1 into A1 E1 by L1. That you have to add it. Next. 2, 2. Where is 2, 2? 2, 2 is here. Here. Very important here now. 2, 2, 1, 1, 1 in the first matrix also. 2, 2 in the second matrix also. So in the first matrix, what is 2, 2 is value is 1. 1 into outside the element you have to multiply A1 E1 by L1. Plus in second matrix also, there is one more value is there. 1. 1, that is 1 into A2 E2 by L2. That is what here we added. And next 3, 3, 2. Where is 3? 3 is here. 2 is here. Therefore, what is the value here? Minus 1. Therefore, minus 1 into A2 E2 by L2. That is we got here. Next come third one. 1, 3. Where is 1, 3 is combination? It is not there here. 1, 3 node is node connectivity, because connectivity is 1 is here, 3 is there. There is no connection for that. That's why it has become 0. Next 2, 3. Where is 2, 3? 2 is here. 3 is here. Minus 1. Minus 1 into A2 E2 by L2. We got. Next 3, 3. Where is 3, 3? Here. Come to this corner. That is plus 1. 3, 3. That is A2 into A2 by L2. So this is known as, this capital K is known as global stiffness matrix. Global stiffness matrix is nothing but addition of or summing of the individual stiffness matrix will give the global stiffness matrix. Always it is square matrix, and outside the banded it is always 0 will be there. You see that outside the band is always 0. See here how you can see here. This is a band, this is the band, this is the band. 3 bands are here, 0, 0. That is the first property, isn't it? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And order is always 3 number depend upon the number of nodes. Number of nodes are 3 by 3. And if you add the column, it becomes 0. Observe here how it becomes 0. See, plus A1 E1 by L1 minus A1 by L1 becomes 0. Correct. And here you can see, if you add it, these two get cancelled, becomes 0. And if you add it, these two become cancelled, 0. Correct now? Isn't it? It is a property of the stiffness matrix. That is that. So this is the way we are going to add it. So now next classes up to, so today about that, this much is the class, and we'll stop it today. And the next class we'll take it, that is problems. First we're going to take the procedure, how to solve the problem using a 1D bar element. Then we're going to solve the problem. Therefore next one, all of you ready with the